Turns out 78% of consumers report conflicting information about what to eat, what to avoid. More than half of consumers aren't even able to identify a food product with a health benefit. And that is a challenge that we face today. All right. Hi, everyone. I am Shireen Abdullah and founder of Yumlish, and I am here to unfortunately ruin your afternoon snack. Stay with me. Let's go grocery shopping to pick a healthy snack. You have all these packaged food items to choose from. Quickly point to a label on your screen that has influenced your food choice in the past, and that seems like a healthy choice. All right, make your choice. 3, 2, okay, perfect. So which one of these options is healthy? The answer is none based on the cover. I know, that was a trick question. For instance, if you picked all natural, it does not equal healthy. It actually doesn't mean anything. It is overused, unregulated, and undefined. And this is exactly where I found myself a few years ago. After my own personal diagnosis, I was told to eat healthy and didn't know what to do within the context of the foods that I grew up on. But we aren't the only ones. Turns out 78% of consumers report conflicting information about what to eat, what to avoid. More than half of consumers aren't even able to identify a food product with a health benefit. And that is a challenge that we face today. And this is what has led to an overabundance of us being overweight, obese, diabetic, which adds up to a whopping $1.6 trillion in healthcare costs per year. On the flip side, there is this amazing resource, which is a registered dietitian that provides nutrition education so that you and I can make better choices. However, there's a 16x shortfall of registered dietitians needed to address this demand. And that's where we come in. At Yumlish, we are scaling nutrition literacy in a way that is accessible and engaging. We combine nutrition content, think of it as YouTube for nutrition, combined with tech-enabled workflows with one-on-one expert guidance to really empower food choices. And we have proven outcomes in weight loss and interactions with our participants. And here's how it works. We work with employers, specifically those concerned with the performance of their employees, to identify employees who are at risk. We then market to them and enroll them in our programs. We also supplement with live classes and track impact on health outcomes. And we have great traction with the fee-for-service revenue model. Our 2022 revenue was $190,000. We've already booked $850K for this year, an additional $1 million in the pipeline for this year, largely focused again on performance employers like the United States Air Force. And how big is this problem? We estimate a sum of $18 billion, of which just $4 billion is spent on the occupational health of employees in just the Department of Defense, police, and firefighters. And that is exactly how we've carved out a blue ocean niche in this nutrition space. By focusing on employee performance, we are different from a Weight Watcher or Noom of the world that have a direct-to-consumer approach, very different target market, or even a Livongo, Omada of the world that are focused on disease-specific cost reduction. Our value prop is focused on nutrition literacy that improves the performance of employees. We have incredible partners that recognize the value of our work. We have secured over $1.4 million now across multiple SBIRs from the NIH, CDC, National Institute on Disabilities, and continue to grow our partnerships. We have a passionate and proven team. Our team has significant management experience, deep knowledge in dietetics. And then I myself, and our lead dietitian actually is a Navy veteran. I bring years of management consulting experience, and nutrition education is a massive problem that is deeply personal to me. Our strategy for the next 18 months is to rapidly expand the number of customers within and outside of the Department of Defense, grow revenue and margins. Our ask today is to raise $4 million in a seed round to close in Q2 to invest in product and content library. And as a bonus today, for all the investors on the call, we want to invite you to this incredible opportunity by the Department of Defense, whereby for every private dollar we raise, the DoD will match it dollar for dollar up to $1.8 million. I will leave you with a few testimonials from our participants and invite you to scale nutrition literacy so that you and I and others are empowered in our snack and food choices. Thank you.
Love it, Shireen. Incredible about the matching program. I hadn't heard that yet, and that's just phenomenal and unusual. So congrats on that.
Thank
If anyone
you.
wants to drop a question, they can drop it in the Q&A and I'll incorporate it. Shireen, you mentioned the development of a nutrition content library. Now, when I think about
Mhm.
YouTube and podcasts and just the internet in general, we are inundated with nutrition information. So talk to me
Mhm.
about what that content is going to look like, how it's unique and defensible.
Yeah. So the content essentially is going to look like this, Logan. So think about, I mentioned the grocery store example, but just taking that further, understanding a nutrition label, for instance. How do you read a nutrition label and make food choices based on that? What are numbers you're even looking for when you're looking at the nutrition label? What is a good carb versus a bad carb? These are all things that your healthcare provider, your physician just expects you to know and modify your food choices and health decisions on a day-to-day basis. And yet no one provides that education to us. And so that's the level, when we're talking about nutrition literacy in particular, that's the level of information and education that we're putting into this content library.
Love it. You talked a lot about your emphasis on performance. We got a
Mhm.
question in the chat saying, what are some of the metrics used to measure employee performance?
Yeah, we're working in, and I'll lead this actually to one of our customers, the United States Air Force. In working with them, we're specifically working with their recruits to help manage their weight so that they can complete their physical fitness standards that they need and meet those physical standards that they need to in order to complete recruitment. So their performance is really measured by all those that essentially make it through into their basic military training.
Okay, and in 60 seconds or less, another
Yeah.
question. Are you using any biomarkers to measure performance?
Yep. So we're not biomark. Well, biomarkers in the sense of like weight being in this example, weight would be an ideal one.
Okay, and are you considering any additional data points, genomic information, et cetera?
We're looking at other data points, but outside of health outcomes. So we're looking at engagement, moving the needle on nutrition literacy itself. In fact, there's an assessment we're incorporating that's a validated assessment around nutrition literacy. So looking at components like that as well.